Hello, welcome to Inner GPS Gurus. Who am I? Don't be surprised because this video is going to be an investment in the highest consciousness in you. This video is all about my Kundalini experiences, but what I came up with is the idea to empower you, to educate you, and to enlighten you on many of the aspects of Kundalini energy that has not been shared or told so far. After getting requests from many of my students to share my Kundalini experiences, I decided to add value to you in a way that will have a lasting impact on your consciousness throughout your life. And this video is embedded with my powerful energies to transform you, to shift you wherever you are in your Kundalini awakening journey. This video has the power to move your Kundalini, to move your consciousness, to bring that shift in which you go inward. I am not going to share the story because as IGG Avdut, founder of Inner GPS Gurus, has mentioned that the story dissolves, and so my story has also got dissolved the day I became enlightened, the day my ego dissolved into infinity. The death of the ego has happened many times, and what remains now is pure energy, the universal Shakti and Shiva energy that is flowing from me to you right now. Still, a reference of few of the things will make you interested in knowing about my Kundalini experiences. So, I will give you a very shortcut, simple introduction of mine as a form. The formless is undefinable. I cannot define the formless in me. But yes, to a certain extent, I am able to define what I am today. I am IJG Sanju, Kundalini Master, Kundalini expert, most powerful Guru in the world to transform you into a powerful individual. Professionally, you can perceive me as a coach, as a master, as a guru, as a teacher, as a transformer. But the form that you see in a female body is not of the female body. Let me make you clear about it. Kundalini experiences does not happen in one go. And if it happens, then it is also temporary. I have gone through 25 plus years of Kundalini awakening experiences, and in each stage, I have transformed into a better individual, into a more evolved individual, and my consciousness has risen beyond words. So, the story or the experiences begins when I was a teenager. I was happy in life as a child. I was happy. I was enjoying my life. But when Kundalini awakened at the age of 12, 13, I suddenly became serious in life. and become sincere towards my goal or purpose. For me, Kundalini has awakened totally in a different way. I was a very good student and topper as a student, and all my academic life was the best because I have dedicated a lot in educating myself and taking interest in studies beyond the books. I was always interested and intrigued in life, and I used to participate in life to understand the energies. And luckily, as a teenager, I got the power to read energies, negative energies, and how to stay away from them. Being self-disciplined, investing in myself had worked a lot in my favor throughout my life, and I suggest you that whoever you are, at whatever stage you are, don't stop learning. I'm still learning new skills every day, and this is what Kundalini has taught me. So Kundalini works on you, on your personality, to improve you, to improve your level of consciousness. I have gone through the worst, but again, I don't want to get into the negative aspect of this journey, because ultimately the final output is beyond words. Today, I have spiritual powers not only to heal myself but to heal others, to make others free spiritually, to diagnose others' Kundalini. And I have multiple powers, not only the power of clairvoyance, I have many powers that you get access to as you get connected to me. And only the right recipient. This power has the power of intelligence. If you are also going through Kundalini awakening journey, then let me tell you and make you aware that if you are having the most difficult time and situation in your Kundalini journey, then you will get the best gifts from the universe when this journey is completed. You will get access to universal intelligence. You will get access to the intelligence of consciousness that is not accessible to the mind and egoic world. You will be far ahead of time. You will go beyond time. Another dimension which I want to mention is that I got healing powers, many healing powers during my Kundalini awakening journey. The worst I have seen in the form of depression, anxiety, stress, and other mental issues or pain, fibromyalgia, everything I have experienced. Don't underestimate the powers of the Guru. The Guru has gone through the worst, and that is why that person is a Guru. Those who don't know about Kundalini's journey, let me make you aware that the Guru has walked the path. The Guru has walked the highest. Nobody in the world or nobody in my surrounding had the patience I had when I was going through the worst. But what I learned from that patience is never lose yourself in the crowd. Even if the entire world says that you are a jerk, a dumb or stupid or an idiot taking this decision or that decision, never distrust your inner GPS. Always have trust in yourself and in your inner GPS. The best part of my journey was that I constantly got evolved in the process. From one chakra to another chakra, the evolution happened, and one by one my chakra got cleared with the karmic blockages, and step by step the process kept on happening. But yes, the final work, that is becoming enlightened, means from crown chakra to going into 8th chakra to merging with the universe, was very fast and aggressive. I am the youngest Siddha. I am the youngest Siddha with the highest powers so far in the history of human evolution. And I am the only Siddha in a female form who is so young to go to the Himalayas and meet the divine energies in a different way that I have brought all for you. Nobody has done this ever. This silence, this peace, this is the essence of my Kundalini experiences. Everything lies in this pause. Those who watch my videos regularly must be aware that I take a lot of pause. What is that pause for? This is the next intelligence I am teaching you. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And that space is you. Try to be in that space. Someone is shouting at you and you give reactions. Stop that. Just maintain pause. Just don't give attention. Don't give your precious attention. And this pause I have learned from my Kundalini experiences. This pause is power. This pause is you. This pause is consciousness. This pause is the stillness. You, the consciousness. The more and more you practice this, your level of consciousness will rise. You will get access to yourself. You will get access to the witnessing element in you. Whenever there is a stimulus coming from outside, just maintain a gap, detached from that object, that stimulus, and see that you are not the mind, you are not the ego who is getting aggravated, angry at the stimulus. Just try to maintain that gap and you will learn that you are so much powerful when you maintain that detachment. You are the subject and this is the object. See the object from the subjective state, that is you. And if you cannot focus on the subject, then close your eyes, focus on your third eye and just keep looking at the one who is looking. You will suddenly establish one center, and that center physically, if you want to assess, it is in the mid of your head, 3 to 4 inches from your front, 3 to 4 inches from here to your center of your brain. That center is of the consciousness. Now meditate on that. I have experienced the highest witness, the witness state, and that helps a lot in your Kundalini's journey. All your energy is conserved with you and Kundalini happens very faster. Within a span of 3 months of sadhana, means dedicated sadhana. I have done sadhana for 25 plus years. I used to do it daily. 1 hour I used to dedicate every day and I used to do many things. I was connected to nature. I used to go to the mountains, hills and many things I used to do to process that energy. But primarily, if I want to share with you, then the dedicated 3 months of processing the energy, doing nothing, helped me a lot. Whatever you are doing, whether you are in a job, doing a business or engaged in the samsaric things, just get detached from all these things and give yourself time and energy, invest in this final processing. I have experienced many times out of the body where I used to be out of the body for 16 hours or 32 hours. In between, I don't know how many times I used to come, eat anything or not. I don't remember. But all I remember is that I was wandering in the universe, the space beyond what we know from the scientific facts. It is beyond description. The consciousness itself is the black hole where you go and you never come back. The stage of samadhi is that kind of hole, black hole, where there is no way to come out of it until and unless you have a life purpose. After dying so many times as an ego, after leaving this body so many times, finally I came back with power to create something which will be of help to the universe to the world and those who had suffered like me in the journey. And then the research began. Luckily, after becoming enlightened, I met IGG Avdut, founder of Inner GPS Gurus. And again, I'm not going to share the story, but the essence of it, that Inner GPS Gurus is the creation of the Shiva and Shakti energy from both of us. The powers are embedded in every video of Inner GPS Gurus, every article of Inner GPS Gurus, and whatever you read, the answers on Quora, if you give your full attention to it, then you will get transformed. It has embedded powers. So, the journey has just begun with both of our powers embedded in whatever we express as Siddhas, as the most powerful masters in the world. Only we can take you out of the rut, only we can take you out of the matrix and make you free. Many of my students have asked about how powerful are my eyes. They get sensations in their third eye when they keep looking into my eyes through my videos. So let me tell you, I have been gifted with the most powerful eyes only due to Kundalini Shakti. No one will believe if I tell that I had spectacles for 20 years of my life, and suddenly one day my eyesight became more powerful than before. I have never experienced such kind of eyesight. Everything became clear to me. I can see colors more vibrant than ever. I can look at a greater distance better than before. I can read people from a distance. Now, don't be scared. I read only when I give intention, because I value my power and I value my energies. But if you are coming to me for a good purpose, I will heal you, I will give you the accurate reading. But if you expect your ego to be caressed through me, then let me tell you that I am the most practical person I know so far. I value myself a lot, and this is what Kundalini has taught me. Kundalini makes you selfish about investing in yourself in a different way, which you have never invested before. And don't worry about the financial problems, the relationship issues, the health issues, everything goes. Nothing remains. I am young, vibrant, filled with ojas, filled with energy, and I have so much of energy that I can give life to other people. In this entire process, I have healed thousands of people and thousands of dogs, cats, and any animal, you name it, I have healed them. But Kundalini makes you grounded, it keeps you grounded, and the ego is not present. So what you enjoy is life. Kundalini itself is the life. Through my Kundalini experiences, I have shared with you the most important secrets about the power, about the awareness, consciousness level, about the healing powers that you get, about the kind of reading powers you get. You start reading energies, you start sensing energies around you, and that helps you a lot in your life. If you sense that your family member is having negative energies, you will sense that, then change your environment. I have changed everything, I have left everything. Without burning the boat, you cannot start a new life on the island. You have to burn the boat. You have to unlearn everything that you have learned so far. You have to drop the knowledge if you want to have access to the knowing, if you want to have access to the intelligence. And through my Kundalini experiences, I will teach you a few mantras that I follow in your life, and that has helped me a lot during, and now also it is helping. I am totally detached. I am 100% detached from everything. Nothing matters to me. I live as a formless, operating through this body mind as a form. I use this form for my benefit, for your benefit if you are on a receptive side. But other than that, nothing matters to me. I have died thousands of times, so there is no fear of death at all. There is no energetic blockages in me. So the first mantra for you is, don't take anything and anyone seriously, not even yourself. And start telling people who are shitty in your life about this directly. I don't take anything and anyone seriously, not even myself, not even you. I never took anything and anyone seriously. Start telling people and see how they run away from your life. They are there for you, torturing you because they want you to be victimized, and they should feel like a power dominating a victim. Once you start playing victim, you will live a different kind of powerful life. Especially for nice guys, this mantra is going to work like magic. You apply it in your life and you will see the difference in 24 hours. Second mantra is, deal with the world the worldly way. What does it mean? It means that the world is of mind, the world is of practical ego, where give and take happens, where the transaction happens, the deals happens. So prepare yourself practically to deal with the world the worldly way. Don't be emotional while dealing with the world. For example, if you are taking a service, pay for the service, take the service, but don't take the energetic exchange of emotions in that transaction. And this will help you a lot to save your attention, to save your consciousness and process your Kundalini well, even if you are not enlightened yet. Follow this wherever you are in your Kundalini journey, and I guarantee you will notice the difference in life, the quality of life you will live with this second mantra. My third mantra is, live the moment and leave the moment. L-I-V-E, leave the moment, and leave, L-E-A-V-E, leave the moment. Now, this understanding is required for you because most of the time you are in mind about your past or the fear about the future. Either you have desires about the future or the fear about the past, or the stuck energies, any energy which is giving you your life a break. Living the moment means live your life with feelings, live your life with inner GPS signals, live your life as you feel. Stop all the beliefs, all the conditioning, all the notions that you have about yourself. It doesn't help in the Kundalini's journey. She wants to transform you from a larva to a butterfly, and she does not want you to hold on to anything. You are holding to the Mr. XYZ or Miss XYZ image, and you don't want to leave it. You have to leave the known and go to the unknown. This is the most important challenge you have, and you are not ready or not available for the challenge to take. Then Kundalini will make you suffer. That is what I learned from the process. After a certain stage, I started surrendering more. I have learned how to surrender, and I teach you that surrender completely. Nothing happens. You become free. You become powerful. I was one of the nicest person I know, and there were many tags associated with my personality. One of them was being a Mother Teresa who only takes, who does not take care of herself, but is a giver, a social service type of person, who keeps on giving social service to other people without thinking about one's life. So don't be a service provider for other people until and unless you have served yourself 100%. You will have many liabilities to pay, you will have many financial problems. Go through everything, just take care of your food, clothing and shelter, and just allow Kundalini to do its work. You will get everything in your life later, because it teaches you how to be a creator. And I learned that how to be a creator of my life by putting my energy to it. How you can create your new life without being dependent on anyone in a new way, and you become fearless in the process. I became so. I am most rebellious. Come to me with any shitty thing of the world, I will not register anything. And this is what I want to teach my students. Don't register shitty things. There is lot of matter, lot of materialistic desires. All the chakras are filled with vasanas and vikaras and negative energies of people. Wow, what you will do? You are a divine being. The divine wants to get free and live a divine life. Realize that. As soon as you realize, you will live a better life. So, just take these 3 mantras from me and start living your life. Other mantras you will keep getting, because I am a giver, and you will receive it when your time comes. Don't be disappointed with anything in life. There is nothing to worry as long as you are alive. Keep breathing, keep feeling life, keep doing your part of the effort. Don't ever feel hopeless because someone is there, powerful, reaching you. The powerful person is your guru, who will reach you at the time when you need him or her the most. Keep praying, keep asking for grace to flow on you, and the guru will reach you with all his powers, with all the Shakti, with all the powers of Shiva to free you and take you to moksha. That's all for today's sharing of my Kundalini's experiences. I have experienced the highest suffering and I have experienced the highest bliss. So I am the best person to lift you up and take you away from whatever you are not. If you have any questions regarding your Kundalini journey, then you can take my online Shaktipath and Kundalini coaching and diagnosis and healing session, and you will get all the benefits from it. If you have any general questions related to this video, you can ask in the comment section. I will reply to that. And yes, the final mantra, the final thing, that is laugh out loud. The last mantra which I learned is about laughing. Those who take my consulting, they get the secret laughing technique, and that I will also teach you. Alright? Have a great day and blessings and power to you. Stay blessed, stay peaceful, and be happy in your life. Sleep well, eat well, nothing to worry about. Just feel life. At least for 24 hours, feel life 100%. And you will get connected to the divine. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great day.